Hey guys, it's Katie here with Life in the Mundane, and earlier this week I showed you my first attempt at doing an Instacart order to Aldi's and kind of walked you through the step-by-step process. If you want to see that video, check it out in the links below or in the iCards above. But today I want to come to you as sort of a conclusion to that video and give you my thoughts. After I've looked at sort of the numbers and looked it over, gone through the process from beginning to end, wanted to give you sort of my pro and con list of using Instacart and also kind of would I recommend using them again. So let's get started. Okay, so first off, the things that I did like about Instacart. I loved the fact that the app was super user-friendly. I felt like both adding the things to my list and searching to find the things were super simple, as well as just navigating the checkout process, being able to track my order as the shopper was shopping. All of it just was a very, very easy experience. So that is one thing that I really enjoyed. Another thing that I enjoyed was the fact that I could chat with my shopper as they were shopping. I liked the fact that we could kind of do that from the safety of the app because you're directly communicating through the app itself and not via text or phone, email, whatever, since they are random people. You're not sharing any personal information. So I did like that aspect of it. I liked the fact that I could go in and say, yes, add this supplement, no, add this one. So that's another thing. One thing about that, sort of a tangent to that I also liked, is I liked the fact that it gave you ability to approve replacement items on a case-by-case basis. I have seen other services similar to this where you have to approve either all of the replacements if they can go in and replace anything, or that you don't accept any replacements, and that to me is really frustrating because some things I don't mind, a different brand or a different flavor or whatever, and other things I do. So like for instance, if you watched my other video, you would see that I had hamburger buns and hot dog buns on the list, and they were only supposed to be 86 cents, 87 cents a package, something like that. They didn't have those items in stock, so they wanted to switch it out, but they wanted to switch it out for buns that were about $2.30 a piece, which I did not want to do. So I was able to reject that, but okay, another transaction where they wanted to switch something out. Another pro is that I like the ability to be supporting people locally. So their shoppers are just ordinary people. A lot of them I know are moms and college students, and so I loved being able to support them with using the service, being able to tip them and being able to support them in a side gig. So I love that aspect of it as well. I also love the fact that while I was sick, that I could have groceries delivered to my door. I mean, how cool of a service is that? I would have killed for that when all of my kids were super, super little. As far as getting to the cons go, for one, I didn't like the fact that I had to enter a tip in before the service even began. So that was kind of a big deal to me, that I had to tip on a service that I hadn't even received yet. So I didn't get the opportunity to gauge it according to the service that I received, which is kind of the whole point of a tip. So that was a little frustrating to me. There might be the ability to go in and adjust it after the service is done, but I did not see that. It did not prompt me to that. But it did prompt me to put in a tip at the beginning of the process. So I was really unhappy with that aspect of it, and wish they would change that feature. At least if you're going to have to do it in advance, that they would prompt you at the end of the service to say, hey, do you want to adjust the tip up or down? Because I do think that makes it hard for people to be able to decide how much to tip. Thing that was not my favorite, unfortunately, was the fact that while they did allow replacements, if they didn't have something in stock, they also gave estimates on produce. So if you saw my video, they gave an estimate on bananas that they were going to be 44 cents a pound, and when they got to the store, they actually were 66 cents a pound. Now, 20 cents a pound is not a huge deal. It's not something to cry over, but I will say it was, if I had been in the position where I was really penny pinching every, little number, that would have been quite a jump for me to go from 44 cents a pound to 66 cents a pound. So I wish it would have given me the option and prompted me just like it does when there's a replacement item. I wish it would have prompted me and asked me, do you want to accept this knowing that it's more than what you thought it was? But it didn't give me that option. It just adjusted. One of my other cons for this is just simply that I do like to do my own grocery shopping. I enjoy getting to go and look for good deals and get to pick my own produce and whatnot. And even like with the produce that they picked, I had them pick up a bunch of bananas. And they did nothing wrong, they did that, but the bananas were, you know, a little bit on the green side, they were a little bit bruised, and they only got a bunch of 4 bananas, which doesn't seem like a big deal until you realize that I have 5 kids that can eat bananas. And if you're a mom, you understand the pain. I spend a lot of time taking time to make sure that when I get a bunch of bananas, there's enough for everybody. Now, first world problems, not a big deal. I was able to just cut them in half and everybody was happy, but still it's just something to be aware of when you're shopping, that there are those kinds of instructions that you probably could give your shopper, but you have to think about those in advance. I would have never thought to let them know that ahead of time. The final thing that I saw with it that was not my favorite was how many fees were involved. Now, I knew there would be fees involved. I get it's a convenience, it's a service that they're bringing it to your door. So I don't want to make it sound like I'm unhappy or I felt cheated by it at all. They were upfront with their fees, but for a medium-sized order, my fees were over $12. So, like I said, not a huge deal in the grand scheme of things, especially because I had a $10 off coupon code, which if you want one, you can get mine below. It's $10 off your first order. So really, I only paid like $2.27, I think, in fees instead of the $12. But if I hadn't had that coupon code, that would have added a significant amount to my budget. And I wouldn't even mind if that was all the cost that was involved. But they also adjust the prices of the item. Now, some people have accused Instacart of trying to cheat people or that they're being dishonest about this, and they're not. In the app, they're very, very clear. They're very, very open about the fact that some prices may be different than in store. Now, some were cheaper. I found one item on my list that was cheaper than in store. A lot of them were the same, honestly. I checked it out. A lot of them were the same. And then I found probably 4 or 5 items that were different than what they are in the store. A lot of them were really like 10 to 20 cents more than they were in the store. Like I mentioned in my first video, the milk was about $1 higher than it is, at least in my local store. But a lot of the other items were a small adjustment. So I kind of felt like I didn't mind paying the fees, and I wouldn't even mind having the fees, but having the fees on top of an unknown extra amount of cost was a little frustrating to me. So while I understand it, I didn't feel blindsided by it any means. I don't know that on a regular basis I would be willing to pay that much of a premium. I would almost rather if they just had a higher delivery fee or a higher, flat rate versus changing it by percentages, if that makes sense. So, where does that bring us to? Kind of my conclusion on this. I really feel like the service has its place. If you are sick like I am, if you just had a new baby, your car broke down, you're not able to get to the grocery store, you're shut in, or maybe you want to help out a family member who's out of town or friend who's out of town and send groceries to their house, then I think it's a great service. But honestly, truthfully, I will probably be sticking with my Sam's Club pick and click orders, or picking up and trying the Walmart to go orders if I want something for extra convenience, because to me, just the cost between the delivery fees, the tip, and the extra charge in groceries just wasn't worth it for a regular experience. Now, I am very thankful for it because I was in a position where I needed groceries now and didn't have the ability to go. So I am thankful for it. I do think it has its place for sure. But personally, I won't be using it at least on a regular basis, and I definitely wouldn't be looking into their yearly service. They have where you can pay $99 a year, and then any orders that are $35 or more have no delivery charge to that. So you can opt for that. And one of the questions I had about that, I didn't try it out myself, but one of the questions I had about that is there was a delivery charge and a service charge that was different than the tip. So I understand that on the free service, for the yearly membership thing, that there wouldn't be, that you'd still have a tip involved. But I don't know if the service charge would also be there. So if that's the case, it's really only saving you about $3.99 an order, which to me just that would be a lot of grocery deliveries to make it worth the $99 in a year. So just my thoughts on it. I would love to know if you guys have tried Instacart yourself. I'd love to know what your thoughts are. If you haven't used Instacart, but you've used another service, definitely drop links below. I hope to do a video very soon here on how I go grocery shopping with all 6 kids by myself, and kind of the systems that we've used to sort of navigate that. It has been a long time coming, and would love to know if that's something you guys would like to see. So drop comments below about that. Like this video if it's been helpful. Please share, comment. If you like these videos, I post videos every Wednesday and Saturday. I'm making the most of the little moments in home management, homeschooling, parenting, and everything in between. I hope you guys have a great day, and talk to you later. Bye.